I'm Mr. Formal.
Hey everybody, how you doing? I am Tom, the Sunday dinner chef, and we have cooking secrets for men, Charlie. Charlie, how
Hi,
you
how's it
been?
going, everybody?
How you
Evening.
doing? Okay.
Good, doing well.
Good,
We're
good,
uh,
good.
we're at a blistering hot 40 degrees here in Milwaukee in
Today
February.
it looks like it actually looks like it's going to rain any minute here, and it's starting to click around the 70s. Yesterday was like 71, I think. So yeah,
Well,
I mean it's right around the corner to 70 going on 140. But
yeah, I don't envy you at all in the summer.
yeah, and you know what? It's really not that bad here compared to, like I keep saying it, compared to Florida, but it's hot. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So, Madwood, what's up, brother? Terry, how you feeling? All right, man. Terry had shoulder issues, I believe.
So I just watched your Sunday dinner, chef, with the beans and the this what rump steak, was that what it was? The one where you
Oh,
just had to pat it dry and you use hoisin sauce on the beans and
oh, the green beans. Yeah, yeah, I did. Yeah, that was real good. Got to give that a try, Charlie. The hoisin sauce, not a lot. You don't need a lot with it, um, and also put a little butter into it.
well, you don't have to tell me twice on the butter.
I mean, it actually thickens it up really nice, really, really nice.
Well,
I'm feeling pretty good
I
today. How are you?
one of the things that's interesting about your channel and some others is that you just pick up little things to go, oh, because I usually cook green beans. I'll cut them in half and then or bite-sized pieces, but just butter and the saute in 3 or 4 minutes. But the hoisin, and then also sometimes I do the toasted almonds. But the hoisin just that. Oh, it's an interesting little touch because it just gives it a little Asian spice,
Gives it,
little kick, and it's got it's got a little bit of flavor that's different.
yeah.
So I'm definitely going to give it a try.
It, in matter of fact, in when I was cooking in a restaurant, I would do that all the time. In fact, I would let them in the steamer. We'd have the steam table. We kept all the vegetables and stuff. I would actually put it in there just to give that flavor up. And worked out well. Everybody seemed to like it. Terry, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I'm still not walking right, but I'm just waiting to get some hear from the doctor about when I'm going to start my shot to get my shot. Anyway, I don't think they're going to do any knee replacement at this point. So it is what it is. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna.
at our age, we're relatively the same age. The recovery period is so elongated
Yeah,
for a replacement that you got to be awful sure that it's going to take care of the problem, or you got to go to secondary uh, things like the injections, or I I have cortisone shots in my back pocket as when I need them next time I
yeah.
heading somewhere for a while. But I was
And
going to ask, did they tell you how long? I know you can't get them once every 6 months, but how long does it last?
oh, from my research, okay, it stays in your system a long time. Contrary to what other people say, but it stays in your liver. I mean, it just doesn't filter out. Okay, and that's
So
the problem with it.
when I got when I went to Italy in the last spring, I got the cortisone shots. Welcome to
Yeah,
healthcare 101
yeah,
for old people.
yeah.
Um,
Get off my lawn, channel.
I got the shots, but I wanted to get them as close to my departure date as possible. The doctor pushed it back a week, so it was great for about a week and a half, and then 3 days into the trip, it was gone. But you can only get them every 3 months, so that's why I was wondering how long the effects last of the injection, as opposed to the cortisone shots, which last about maybe 2 weeks at most.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine who's a chiropractor. Actually, he's retired now. I knew his dad back in the day, and then he was a chiropractor, and he contacted me and he said because must have seen it on Facebook, me crying about it, but he said, Tom, be wary of getting the knee replacement, total knee replacement. A lot of doctors just, okay, let's get it over with. No sense playing around with this. He said, because not all the time does it work. Okay. And that sort of hit home with me, Charlie, because the surgeon I'm seeing, this orthopedic surgeon I got, Dr. Chan, you know, there's a lot of different things I can go right there with that one, but he's very concerned, and I like the fact that has been in touch. Him personally has been in touch with me about it. And back in 2014, I broke my leg. I got screws in my leg. I got 12 screws in my leg and one in my ankle. And the one in my ankle hinders me from going 90 degrees.
Right.
What I think initially happened was when I stepped, I actually pushed it back, and that sort of made everything go off kilter a little bit. So we're going to do these shots, and that's what we're going from there. So I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. But we will take it from there. And I just want to get back to doing what I'm doing. I mean, 7 months, and probably 4 of them 7 months, I was flat on my back. I can't. Like you just said, I can't do it no more. I cannot. Marie can't do it no more. You know, she's about had it with me. You know. So, but
right. Her children left years ago. Now she's got another one.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the other night I started calling her Martha because Marie wouldn't answer me no more. But yeah, but getting back to what we like to talk about is food. Yeah. I really enjoy your channel with your interviews and stuff like that, and I like how you bring it out of them to be, you know, a high power job or whatever. Okay. And then all of a sudden, bam, they're in the kitchen. I mean, that music, I think, would bring the best out of anybody, you know?
Yeah. It's a fun enterprise that I've stumbled upon. The podcast is up and running. I haven't publicized it yet because I'm trying to make sure that it's 100%, but it's on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, you know, all the different podcast places. So I probably have some sort of announcement this week just to get people to subscribe, because I found this company. A friend of mine, when I was downstairs a little while ago, has a company called Milltown Eats, which is like Hello Fresh, or, you know, the meals delivered, but it's a Milwaukee-based company, food company. I said, I've never heard of them, but this would be a great podcast sponsor. So I think if I can get, you know, more than, you know, me and my wife as subscribers, you know, I might be able to hit up, you know, a sponsor. So that's my goal is to move these videos. I still love the videos, but then make them podcasts, and then they're very interesting. But thank you for the compliment. Yes, I do and enjoy it. I had a young guy on my channel on Saturday, or I did the video. I haven't finished editing it, but there's a whole list out now called 40 under 40, and he's on that list of those under 40 years old who making a difference, and he lives in my building.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I've seen him around, and then the list came out, and so somebody was asking me, well, how do you get guests on your show? And well, this is in the video, but I said, so I saw Zach his name is Zach. I saw Zach at the elevator. I walked up and said, hey, Zach, you want to be on the show this week? Said, yeah. All right, good. And so that's how I get guests.
Well, that's how we just did it right now, just now. Charlie, you want to go up? I'm going up live. Yeah, okay. Sure. Trumpet Master's in the house. What's up, buddy?
What I'm interested in, and it's the seniors channel with Marie as the star, and she could not be more natural. I'm sure that's exactly how she is all the time. I mean, it just comes through in how things are prepared, and she probably cooks like the majority of people. I'm not going off a recipe. I'm just throwing stuff in, but it's you got to remember, in a video you got to kind of explain what you're doing, and that cracks me up. It's funny.
Just a smidge here and a smudge there, and squish this together, and then she goes, it cracks me up, and she goes like this, hello. What are you? But you know what, Charlie? I don't edit much out of that. If we've changed things around, so I don't want to
Yeah.
show. I don't want to show the camera moving or anything like that. That's basically the only time I edit anything. I want it as natural as anything. Now this week we'll be probably filming. I think a burger on a chaffle, but just showing the burger and stuff. But the whole crux of the matter is going to be our lower 40. That's our balcony with all the pines.
Right.
Okay. Originally, when we moved here, okay, the whole idea of the balcony was so I can have my smoker and I can cook out there. Okay. But now, when springtime comes, I need a machete to get to my smoker because of all the crap she's got growing.
He's got it inside and out, right?
Huh?
He's got it inside and outside growing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I go with little cups everywhere. I mean, there's seeds everywhere. But it's fun.
Sure.
You know what it does? It keeps us busy. Keeps especially out here in Vegas. You can get lost out here, get caught up with with the slot machines or get caught up going here and going here. They have a lot of things to do for seniors, but I'm not. That's not my way of doing things. I rather.
I'm sure you probably know him, the Laughing Lion. You ever watch his videos?
I don't think so. No.
He does live Vegas. He goes and runs a camera down Fremont Street and down Vegas and down the Strip, and it just walk around. It's fascinating. Some of the stuff. I was watching one of his most recent ones where some mother has these two little girls, probably like 7 and 8 years old, doing somersaults in the middle of Fremont Street, and then people are coming up and giving money. I said, "Oh, come on, that's child exploitation."
Yeah, no matter.
That's just that's sick. Let me send my 7-year-old out to go make money in the middle of Vegas.
Yeah,
anyway, but he's a great guy.
I think I did see him.
Yeah, he's an interesting person, and you would probably know most of the places they go to.
Yeah,
he goes to the conventions. He goes out to live events and concerts and stuff. He's just filming, and it runs for a couple of hours. So I mean, if he's watching, I'm not watching the whole thing. But you do kind of go through and see some of the stuff, and then some of it's interesting. And anyway, so it's a Vegas guy that I know. I should check him out. He's an interesting.
Yeah, definitely will. What's his name again? Let me write that down.
The Laughing Lion.
Oh,
he's got like 50 grand followers. I mean, he's got a big following.
Cool. I'll check him out. We went out for dinner Friday night. Okay. Now, this is the first time I'm out just with a cane, walking very slow. I mean, I got more braces on than it's amazing. Okay.
Right.
But anyway, we went to one of my favorite places. It's called the Tuscany Grill. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, I've had people tell me, "Oh, I went there and their sauce sucks." Okay. Tuscany Grill. It says beef and steaks and seafood on the front of it. It says nothing about sauce. Okay. But I tell you what, here's why I like this place. All three of the chef and the two front guys, okay, all worked at one of the other hotels out here. I'm not sure which one. Okay. But all at the same time. And it became good friends. And they're just celebrating now 25 years in business at this Tuscany Grill. And I got to tell you something. You sit at the bar. I don't get a table. I sit at the bar. We can play a little bit, have a few glasses of wine, whatever. And then, but we'll get the entree. So my go-to there is always a filet mignon. Okay. And they have the, the side dish, whatever, the whole bit. And it's so consistent, you can almost bank on it, okay? And I told Maria, I said, I'm wondering how these guys are doing it, or if they raised the prices on it, okay? They actually lowered the prices.
Really?
It's amazing.
Be competitive?
I mean, not to be competitive. They're busy. They're open from 4 to 11. That's it. No more, no less, okay? And good atmosphere, the whole bit. Matter of fact, I don't know if you ever seen that picture I have of the Rat Pack.
Sure.
Okay, that's where that picture came from them. Okay.
Yeah.
So he said to me, he says, hey, YouTube, hey, Tom, how you been? It's okay. he said, anytime you want to come in and do your show from here or whatever. I said, I appreciate that, Lou. Thank you. But okay, what I'm getting back to is the food being very consistent and everything like that. So you sit there and you get, let's for instance say the bill was at this time was $65. Plus I tip everybody, the waiters and bus people and whatever. So we're sitting there. Marie's playing a slot machine, and Marie hits 5 aces. With the
Whoa.
okay. So I'm talking to another lady next to me, and Marie's putting money in front of my face. So I said, "Guess what? You're buying dinner." Okay. So I mean, it didn't cost us anything. I mean, really, to go out. That's the kind of that's basically what how I like to go. We don't go all the time, but when I do go, that's a couple of places I like to
Is that in Henderson?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's more closer to Anthem in Henderson. It's it's starting to head up in the hills a little bit. Great place. Nothing but love. What's up, brother? Trumpets in the house. How you doing? Madwood's here. Back. Okay.
So I want to roll back to the seniors channel because one of the things that I like about that specific channel is when Maria's cooking, it's something that she's made a million times. That is probably an old family recipe. There's some tangential relationship to Italian cooking, so it all kind of hits for me as well. This is pretty cool. And then you watch the Tom and Marie show in the middle of cooking. It's the whole thing to me is great. But I love the recipes. I love the way it's prepared. And as we talked about a little bit earlier, a little of this, a little of that. Boom, 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 boom.
She right now she's getting ready. She's been doing. I guess with her channel, what I'm trying to push her into a little bit is to do. I don't know, like a mini book, like maybe an hour of.
You mean on the stories?
Yeah, Meg's Mysteries. So she's going back into her because she did have like 3 consecutive things, and trying to put them together and then put them up like that just to build her up a little bit more on here. But seniors, okay. I mean, I got a couple weeks worth of stuff that we're doing. That she's gonna. We didn't do them yet. We didn't do them yet, but we got a couple weeks worth of food, like homemade manigat. She's gonna make from start to scratch. She's got a list for when we go to the store and everything like that. So, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. What I'm going to try to do, Charlie, is this platform right here, like StreamYard. Put it up on StreamYard. And I'm gonna record it from StreamYard. Okay, it's nice because it also has a pause button as you're recording.
Right.
So you can go, okay, we're gonna move into next. Boom, and I can pause that. I can control it, and she can do all the cooking on it. I don't have to edit. You know what I mean? So, the only thing I would do is I put it over to Open Shot and I add my music to it, whatever, if I want to put music on it or whatever. But yeah, it's good. You know what? It keeps us both moving around rather than being 2 old farts sitting there looking out the window. Get off my lawn. But this channel, the Sunday Dinner Chef, is picking up pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the responses and the views that I'm getting from it, and it's just all natural. By the way, I do have to ask you a serious question. For Singapore, okay, our collab, how do you say that?
Singapore?
Yeah, no, hashtag KOPIT.
I haven't looked at it. Wait a minute. Tell me it. KOP.
KOPITIAMCUISIANE. I know it's cuisine, but Copytane cuisine.
Copiticon. I don't know. I haven't looked at the hashtag yet. Maybe I should.
Unbelievable. Simon, what's up?
And those international collabs, that's another one that's I enjoy it for a variety of reasons, as we've discussed. That it's a built-in video that is going to go out on a certain time and a certain day. It's always different and interesting. Some of them I have repurposed a couple of my older ones to fit in. But when we're out in Singapore or we're in Jamaica or something, it's just interesting to be in another culture, learn about the different types of ways that food is prepared there, what's important, what's not. And then we're starting to get some of the people who were in the collab for a long time come back. And then we've recruited some new ones. And then there's the standing group of about 10 or 12 of us that have been doing it for a few years. But I love those international collabs. They just, it's fun to do. And then there's this whole group that sits around and goes, from this video to this video to this video to this video. And then, John Shields, I don't know is John Shields on here? No, probably not.
I didn't see him.
He somewhere along the line, John took something that was said and decided that I was his lover. And so that we've just run with that. We've just run with that joke every time that there's a video going out. And
I sort of caught on to that a little bit. He's a good guy, John. I like John a lot.
He's I enjoy him. He's interesting because he's a technical guy. He's a computer guy. In addition to he's getting prolific with his videos, which is it's hard for me to keep up with people who are doing 3, 4, 5 videos a week. I can't.
Yeah, I'm with the other channel, with the keto channel. The keto channel, I sort of turned the page on a little bit. Okay,
I know.
I sort of got a little ticked off with. I'm not chasing anybody. I'm not chasing, a sponsor or anything else like that. It is what it is. I stick to it. Most of the food on here, I'll dabble with a little bit, but I won't sit down and eat a loaf of bread or anything like that. So I'm more or less on the keto end of it. You know what I mean? But I'm getting kind of tired of try keto chow. It's garbage. It's crap. Don't use it. That's where I'm at with keto. And since I turned that a little bit, all of a sudden I started getting a little bit more subscribers on it. I mean, because anybody who's serious with it, okay, knows that any of this garbage that's more keto friendly and all that stuff, they sort of had enough of it. You know what I mean?
Well, your explanation on that's recent with the hoisin sauce. The amount that you're using is not enough to do any appreciable spiking of your blood sugar. I mean, it may go up, but it's not. You're not putting in a half a cup. You're putting in half a teaspoon or 3/4.
And the explanation I give to people, I mean, I had the lady I was sitting next to at the restaurant. Okay, we sort of got into it a little bit, and she says, "Well, I just use almond flour." Okay, I said the cardiologist will tell you a handful of almonds is between 20 and 22 almonds. That's your allowance. That's what you can have. Okay, cup of almond flour is 90 to 94 almonds.
Right.
Okay. So you look at a recipe and it calls for 3 cups of almond flour. Okay. Yeah,
like 300. That's 300 almonds.
So almonds can be toxic. Okay. So anyway, but that's where I'm at with that as far as with that channel is. And then, with the Wednesday show, I couldn't do it anymore because I can't walk and it was too chaotic. So I'm concentrating more on this one here. To do a little bit better job. I'm trying to get involved with different camera setups and stuff like that and different angles. Change it. I don't want it to be the same thing over and over again,
Right.
Going to cut the vegetables, going to put, so I'm going to try to get away from that a little bit. So, yeah, MBL. That's right. You can. Read that. You spend the rest of your afternoon in the men's room. Almonds. That's basically the problem with them. So you are moving right along, Charlie. I mean, if anybody out there hasn't checked Charlie out, please do. Cooking Secrets for Men. Man, you got a lot of stuff going on, brother. Damn.
I yeah, I mean, both in terms of the social media stuff, but yeah, I'm the next 3 weeks I have all kinds of travel. Leaving Thursday, going to New Orleans for my wife is leaving tomorrow for a trip. I'm going to go join her. Then the next week I'm going to Miami, meet my son there. Going to go to Little Havana, have a few mojitos, and
There you go.
then the following week we're going to Naples, Florida for a week. And we just booked our Italy trip this fall from ostensibly the September 1st to October 10th. We're going to be in Italy.
Okay.
So, but yeah, in terms of the videos and the podcasts, and it's fun. But let me go back to something you talked about briefly about what you're doing and how it keeps you busy and stuff. I think I know some people, and my wife is one of them, who are either just retired, contemplating retirement, or can't or don't want to retire because they're not sure what to do next. They're not, what am I going to do with myself? Kind of working out.
Yeah.
But this is what I do in retirement. I enjoy it. I have fun. It's interesting. It's different. I just like what I do. So, and I have a lot of other things. I got little fingers in little pies here and there. I do a lot of work at the public school system. Just here and there. And I'm trying to figure out, maybe I'm going to talk to you offline somewhere about what I should be doing in Italy that would be interesting when I go. Because I do speak enough Italian to get by. I do not speak enough Italian to interview people in Italian. So I might, I want to talk to chefs. I want to talk to, people in the food business or in markets, or, I don't know. But I don't want to go dark for 6 weeks. And on the other hand, I'd like to take advantage of being in the motherland.
Yeah, exactly. My older brother, matter of fact, you said you're going to Naples. He's retired chief of police from our town back in Jersey. He's been chief of police for a little over 30 some years and retired early, and
probably arrested most of my friends.
Yeah, he lives in Naples also. So and he loves it there, and we haven't really, we don't talk that much, but Naples is really nice. But going to Italy, okay, and doing what you're doing, being a foodie, okay, just having the camera with you, there's a whole bunch of stuff. You don't need to make a production, okay, just different ways food is prepared, okay. I can't think of his name right now, but I follow an Italian chef. I'm getting bad with names, Charlie. He cooks all over Italy. He goes back to his motherland. He's actually from Naples, and doesn't do the pizza. He doesn't do that stuff. Okay, but he does like with lemons. Okay, how many different things you can do with the different lemons that they have there, and just different presentations and stuff like that. That to me would be very, very, very interesting. You know what I mean? Talk to the chefs a little bit about how they're prepared, but in the same token, though, just showing and something you can put up real quick, also without taking away from your time, on your vacation.
Yeah. I could probably do it on my phone and just put it up and just make it more fun. And I think was it Nothing But Love said I speak Italian, parlo italiano. I just don't speak enough. The truism in any language is that if people spoke in grammatically correct sentences and spoke slowly, you could understand in any language. But once you get into, especially in a language that you're not 100% fluent in, it's rapid fire, and there's a lot of colloquialisms that come out.
The
You
slang,
drop
yeah. I mean,
words, a lot of slang. I very rarely on the words that are ing. The G is just goes away. I'm walking, I'm shooting, I'm cooking, and people go, "What? What word was that?" So I can speak Italian. I can you know order. I can go talk to chefs in restaurants. I've talked to the waiters, my guides that would take us places. I'll tell you one quick story. When we were in Rome in May, so we checking into the hotel, and I was talking to the woman who was checking us in, and I said, "Oh, parlo un po' italiano," and she said, "Okay, tell you what. While you check in, I will talk to you in English. I will explain everything in English. And I know your wife doesn't speak any Italian. She only speaks English. So I will speak to her in English. But after you leave here and go to your room, anytime you come down here, you must speak Italian." And she held me to that. We were there, I think, 3 or 4 days. So every time I came down, I had to speak to her. I didn't have to. I spoke to her in Italian.
right,
And but I speak enough of it to get by. I don't speak enough of it to I could not do this in Italian to
right, right,
somebody,
right.
in an interview, but I could ask them, um, "Where's my, dove la mia carne? Where's my meat?"
I had a friend of mine. He's 100% Italian. Okay, and I said to him, he was going to Italy. He says, "What do you think I should do?" I said, "I think you should wear headgear." I said, because you're going to come a couple phrases, brother. You're going to piss a lot of Italians off over there. First of all, don't say calamari. Okay? You get a right hook. You know,
And I
unbelievable.
get some ricotta.
Yeah, ricotta, and that's the funny part about it. I mean, just I don't know. I watch a lot of YouTube, not because how can I explain this? I watch YouTube to get more ideas. Okay,
Yeah,
that's why this channel here that I started is to go back and Rolodex in my mind without reading any kind of my old recipes and stuff that I have had written down over the years. But I'm trying to go back in my Rolodex in my head and figure out different ways of doing it. I was going to go one way with it, okay, but the whole idea is that stuff in a restaurant you can actually cook at home, okay, and you
sure.
eat with your eyes first, and you dress the plate up nice, no matter what, okay. But watching other people do things and I like you, I go, aha, look at that. Let me try it that way. And
Yeah.
that's basically why I watch a lot of different cooking channels and stuff. Like we had touched on before with the collaboration. That to me is fantastic. That is
Yeah. You just pick up little things. I mean, I see, I can't even remember that, but you see, and I write it down. Oops, let me make a note of that. And
yeah.
then I either incorporate it into everyday cooking, or as I've done with, I know I've taken a couple of yours, like the squash rings or the spaghetti squash,
Mhm.
and then people said, "God, that's brilliant." I said, "Yeah, I didn't think about it. It's not my thing. A buddy of mine does it, and I said, makes a lot of sense."
See, and
So
even with some of my sauces that I make, I'm going back old school, back to the day. Okay, I would make all my lemon garlic, for sauces for scampi's and stuff like that, is rolled up in the butter.
yeah,
Okay. I mean, I put raw garlic in it, more garlic than any normal human being would use. But if you got a table of four and we're all getting the same stuff, you don't have time to keep making individual sauces for that. You'll be there
right.
all night long. So you make the sauce as you're cooking everything else, you make the sauce up, boom, and you just dish it out. 1, 2, 3. And that I find that Marie says to me, "You talk too fast, damn it, number one." Okay. And you're not giving anybody any recipes. You know, I don't have them. Okay. And if you want to see how I did it, watch the video again. You know, I could use it that way, but I don't have anything written down where, okay, 2 parts this, 1 part that. No, I don't have that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, but I do have the basics in when I have to post it one time in one of my books, how I have things written out, a little joke or something would happen, or circle a stain, what happened scotch, you know, and stuff like that. But in a fast paced world, in a restaurant, you have no time for that. Okay.
Right.
You goof one up, the rest of the night is like horrible.
Right.
You know? So that's why the prep work is so and like I said in one of my videos, the prep work takes the longest of a video. A video would be less than 10 minutes to cook everything, sit down and eat it, and it's over with. So going to Italy to me would be very intriguing to watch how much different it is from from their perspective to ours over here. Okay.
Right.
Over there is more about the food.
Right.
Okay. Over here, it's more about how long is that people at that table and get the check to them.
Right.
That's really what it is. So,
But most of Italy is because it's a relatively poor country. Simple ingredients, minimal ingredients, but mostly fresh. Not a lot of processed food, especially in the restaurants. And you can tell the ones that take a little pride. But the four classic Italian pasta dishes are all 3-4 ingredients. That's it. Carbonara, griglia. I mean, they're all cacio e pepe. I mean, what was it? Pecorino, pepper, pasta, and some water. I mean, that's it. But that's why they're classics, because they're so simple and they rely on fresh ingredients. But that's pretty much what I learned last time I was there. Actually going back and having some conversations with how things are prepared. I was amazed at the simplicity of how the chefs both prepped, and sometimes in kitchens that are about the size of my bedroom. I mean, they're not very big. So you have to make do not only, and I'm sure you've worked in those too. You just gotta, it's a small space. You gotta think about how everything is stationed all over the place. You
like
gotta be organized, because you just don't have the space or the time to go do that. So.
And that's even cooking at home. My whole thing is, you could just buy all this stuff already done, microwave it, the whole bit. But the idea is we're losing this. We're losing the idea of cooking. That's why everybody's a lot sicker. Okay. I've been keeping a little bit of a tally, just watching on the news, actually on YouTube here. Not necessarily YouTube, but on the internet is what I'm trying to say. Is the amount of food that's being recalled.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Every day there's something else being recalled. Okay, because there is a problem with it. So you keep it simple. Okay, cook at home. You know exactly what you're putting into it. You know what I mean? Right. And it's a lost art. It's starting to become a lost art where people don't have the time to cook and this and that. I mean, I don't understand it. So I guess get off my lawn is kicking in.
No, I cook most nights. Most nights, like tonight, we're having halibut, have some fish from our seafood CSA. Have acorn squash, which I cut into rings, and then just a bag of spinach. So I'll saute the spinach, roast the acorn squash, and the fish will cook in about 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And then dinner's ready, and the squash takes the longest. But simple, fresh, tasty.
Charlie, do you have a vacuum sealer?
I do not.
You should look into one.
I don't have space for anything.
Yeah, you should really actually look into it. That'd be one thing I would look into, because what you can do is for a night like tonight, you can actually prepare the butternut squash, like say a Saturday or Sunday if you got nothing to do.
Right.
Cook it up, let it cool, put it in a vacuum sealer, put it in the freezer. They stack, nice and flat. You can and then just boiling water, drop them into boiling water, get them hot, and and
well, one of the good things about living in Wisconsin is that we, even though I live, my apartment is, we're like 1,300 square feet. We do have an auxiliary freezer, which is the balcony, because it's 20 20 degrees outside. They said, just put it on the auxiliary freezer.
Yeah, it's funny as hell. That's too funny. I mean, just simple things like that. Just to make life much easier for you. And with this injury in my leg, and the other day I tried to stand and cook, and I said, I got to sit down. I got to sit there like that. So I'm starting to feel like K. Paul, down in Louisiana, black. And I sat in front of him down there at his place, and that man was huge.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But I tell you what, you paid extra for him to cook for you, and it was a table. I think it was like maybe, I think a dozen chairs, pretty tight. And I'm sitting there. I'm sitting on the end. Okay, and me and him were chatting back and forth a little bit. I was young, and every once in a while he'd throw me, "Here, you try it. You try it. Some shrimp and stuff like that." But yeah, you would pay extra. Either he'd do a black and prime rib for you, or like the fish of the day, whatever he was doing. Pretty cool.
Well, I forget we're going to a place called Koshan, which is probably been there for a while. We're going the exciting part of the trip is we're going to Tipitina's, where I've never been, which is the club that the Neville brothers played in for so many years.
Yeah.
And so we're going to a show. There's a guy named Tad Benoit playing. And so I said, there's a show at Tipitina's on Saturday night when we're going to be there. She says, oh, who's playing? I said, well, I have two answers. The first answer is Tad Benoit. And the second answer is, does it really matter?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's Tipitina's. You got to go to Tipitina's. And then we're going to Italian place. Giada's. I don't think it's Giada.
I can't remember. It has been so many years since I've been there. It changed so much since the last time I was there. But I tell you one thing, you want to get a good education with food, that's the place to go. That's where place to start out with. I always say start out in New Orleans and then go to other different cities. Okay. And the thing, what I like about the collaborations that we do is how similar other countries are. To a little different ingredients and a little bit of something different here and there, but it's basically the same thing. Tomato is all around the world. Garlic is all around the world. You know what I mean? And then you get into different spices, the peppers and stuff. So yeah, a quick story. I'm in New Orleans, okay, and I go to this one where I can't remember the name of the restaurant, and they had snapper soup. Okay, snapper turtle soup. And I was staying at the Holiday Inn. And I said to the waiter, I said, let me start out with the snapper soup. And he's got his pad and he's going like this. And he went, I want the snapper soup. Okay. Back in them days, I would fly off the handle in a heartbeat. Okay. You're telling me I can't have the snapper soup? He went, all right. He gave me the snapper soup. He brought it out. Not to sound gross or gross anybody out here, but I tell you what, you couldn't put a dollar bill between the cheeks of my ass. And I tried to run back. The bathroom was packed in this restaurant. Okay. I barely made it back and I'm running back to the hotel. So when somebody in New Orleans tells you, you don't want that.
Listen to them.
Yeah. Don't get it. Don't get it.
That's classic. I never heard that.
Yeah. I mean, great food, prepared a different way. And if you go off the beaten path and you go to some of these little, mom and pop places or mama's place, stuff like that, and sit down and have a poor boy their way. You know what I mean? It's classic food. Classic food.
Well, not Mother's isn't. Mother's that's not Mom's place. That's Mother's.
Yeah.
Which is so there's Magazine Street, I think it is, closer to the warehouse district. There's got to be 50 restaurants within 4 blocks, and they're all small, independent, different ethnicities and cuisines. That's one of the places we're going. So I'm excited to do that. So I would ask you, where does you said your brother lives in Naples? So
Yeah.
there's two kinds. There's two parts to Naples. There's Naples, and
That's
then
where
there's
he's at.
Naples.
That's where he's at. Naples.
Oh, he
Yeah,
is.
he's close. He's closer to that. Go over the bridge to the. I can't think of the name. The town next to it. A little bridge you go over, and
Port Royal.
nah, Port. Yeah, he's close to Port Royal, but on the other side, heading back towards. I can't think of the name of the. It's like a little beach town, like I can't think of that.
Okay. Yeah, so he's not in the Port Royal is that's where our friends live, and
Yeah,
they're a completely different
Port
world
Royal.
than where we live in.
Yeah, it's about fenced off. Yeah, Port Royal. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's back. He's more towards. I know there's a bridge that you go over to get into this other town. Matter of
Are you
fact,
talking about Marco Island?
Marco Island. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, he's close. He's closer to Marco Island. Matter of
Okay,
fact, in
sure.
Marco Island, there was a. I don't know if it's still there or not, but there was a really good Italian restaurant there. You know, had the pillars out front. You know, it was really sharp, really nice. I used to enjoy when I would go there. I used to enjoy that place. But yeah,
Marco's still there. I don't know about the Italian restaurant, but that's
yeah.
got
It's been a
buddies
while.
there too.
It's been a while. Probably 14 or 15 is when I was last there, and then maybe 14 or 15 because we moved out of Florida in 19 or just before 20 to come out here.
Oh, right before the pandemic.
Yeah, well, I had COVID twice, I believe.
E.
Yeah, right in the beginning, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. So, what part you're going down by Port Royal?
Yeah, our friends live there. This is more money than dirt.
Yeah.
So they bought this house for I don't know like 3.5 million. Spent $1.5 million basically gutting it and then refurbishing it, and then they had a pool that faced north to south, and they decided that they wanted it east to west, so they had it turned.
Yeah,
and you know why? You know why they did it?
For a breeze.
No, because they could.
Duh.
That's, I mean, very nice. Been lifelong friends of my wife's. Known them for 30 plus years, but they just live in a completely different stratosphere than normal people.
You can tell. Now, there again, I'm getting bad with names, but there was a couple places. We went downtown. We walked.
Fifth Street.
Fifth Street, I guess it is, right?
Yeah.
And went into different places here and there. And the thing that gets me is even out here, it's the same out here. There's a couple places out here that I have no business going in. You know what I mean? And I like the finer things in life also, but sometimes when you got to pay for like $30 for an ounce of Johnny Walker Black on ice, that's
right.
I'll try to find the other place. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just not my style.
That's always it's the same $2.99 a pound chicken, and you buy in Kroger. Why is it that it's $40 there and it's $15 over there? It's the same friggin' chicken.
Charlie, you're you're hitting a nerve with me. Okay, I could, for the life of me, I don't understand somebody going to an Italian restaurant, okay, and ordering just pasta. Really? And $22 for a plate of pasta. Okay, it's $1.99 in the store. Go home and make it yourself. What are you doing? It don't make sense to me. I mean, I'll go to an Italian restaurant to get something that I don't make at home.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then at that point, I don't care what it costs, but if I want it, I'm going to have it. You know what I mean? A while back, I made this cheese spadini on one of the things here, and I used the bread that I had made. It was got a little hard, but it's usually made with white Italian bread. Okay,
right.
And they trim off the crust and everything like that, and they put the fresh mozzarella in between it, skewer it, egg it, flour it, egg it, flour it, egg it, flour it into the freezer. And then they take that out how many they ever make, but it's time consuming. It's not really cost effective unless you get the right price for it. So there was a place in Manhattan, lower Manhattan, called Patrici's that made it. And I'm telling you what, this was off the charts good. But they made it with a anchovy sauce. Okay. So basically, what it was franchise with anchovies and capers, at the end. Okay. So first time Marie had it, oh, this is good. But I didn't tell her what the sauce was because I don't like anchovies. You know what I mean? So
Sure you do.
yeah, you have no clue what you don't like, But that would be something that I would, look, and I haven't seen it in any places so far, anywhere. Just a couple certain places that I used to go to make it, and that would be something, like what I'm talking about. Anybody can make shrimp. Anybody can do this. So I like that off the the beaten path type of food that
Yeah.
you just don't see or make it home. But I'm going to try to do it on this channel. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's working for me, but I told you that even when you were doing it before the channel, is that I like the full length version to see how everything puts together, because there's something you pick up along the way. Go, oh yeah, oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
And you just do it because you've just done it for a long time and you don't even think twice. And I go, oh, okay, now I see. That makes sense.
When we're talking about Port Royal, when I was a sous chef at a place called the Yankee Clipper in Seagirt, New Jersey. Okay, Seagirt is where all the muckety mucks live. Okay, there again, around the corner from the place was Bill Parcells had a place. Okay, Leonard Marshall used to come in on Saturdays during the summer. Okay, I mean, big dude. But Parcells was no slouch either. Okay, but Leonard Marshall would come in and he would order everything he wanted hot. He'd open the kitchen door.
Hot spicy.
Hot spicy.
Okay.
He had a 12-ounce bottle of beer in his hand, looked like a nip. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he want muscles. Okay. Hot as you can make them, chef. Hot as you can make them. Okay. So I got some peppers and stuff like that. And something just would not click. Next time, make it a little hotter. Next time, make it a little hotter. He was playing with me. Okay. You can see the smoke coming out of his ears with some of the stuff I made. But my point is that here you are. Here's the building, street, sand, water. That's how close we were to the ocean. Upstairs was a panoramic view. Okay. You could see all around. Okay. We did Sunday brunch there. And back, I'm talking like 80s. Maybe late 80s, I would say. I think back in that time, we did a Sunday brunch, and they had a combo come in from Manhattan. Okay, but I think to play it, the Doral and all them different hotels, they were getting $19.99 per person. Back in the day, that like compared to today, that would be like $100. And these people would come in, and they would, you would hear them. I used to call them Muffy and Biffy. You're here, Oh, look, they have the steamship, and the carvings, the ice carvings. Okay, we would start on Wednesday, and we had these rubber things and pour the water in, look like a fish spitting water out,
Right.
But nobody was carving them. It was all precasted. And look, and they would go around. So we would do the, from the omelet station all the way to with the salmon, slicing the salmon, and with the whole steamship and stuff like that. If they could see in the back what was going on, they would, they would never go.
Oh yeah. That's the old saying. You never want to see how the sausage is made.
Yeah.
But I worked with a chef one time,
George,
years and years ago, who made ice carvings with a chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
The
chef at the place, he would do every once in a while. He would do it, but then I guess him and the owner had a falling out. He said, "I'm not going to spend more time." And see, that's the other thing what people forget. Chef is there. Chef is more, does the ordering, sets up the menus and stuff like that, and he leaves. Okay, so he would hand me my marching orders for the night. Okay, and we would go from there. But sometimes, and what I liked about that place though was midnight had to be out of the building. Everybody had to be out of the building. So they would party from early in the morning, okay, all the way to till midnight, and that was it. So we would close at 11, get cleaned up, and everybody had to be out. That was the ordinance. So it was pretty cool. But learned a lot. Stuff that's most of the stuff. The owner lost it, Charlie. The owner lost it for taxes. Didn't pay the taxes. An unbelievable view. I'm telling you. Sometimes you think and say, some people shouldn't be doing what they're doing, but they, can't change it.
Right.
They had two places. They had downstairs was the pub, and then upstairs was fine dining. So it was pretty active joint, even in the wintertime.
Yeah, we had a Yankee Clipper in Ocean City, Maryland. Same type of thing. It was on the bay side, but it had a view of the bay. It was the place to be. And I don't know. I mean, this was years and years ago, but it was the same as up in Jersey. It was just wasn't the same owners, but it was the place to be. And
they speaking of Ocean City, we used to go down there. I can't remember the name of the hotel. It was right on the beach, and we would leave, had the pool there, the whole bit. I can't think of the name. I'm getting bad with names. Anyway, but next across the parking lot in a strip mall was a place called Coins. All right.
Uh-huh.
And I tell you what, run of the mill place, but I tell you, the food was fantastic. They used to make a crab cake, okay, unconditional, like I ever seen. They would make it in a boat, okay, all lump. I mean, it was fantastic. So we would go there in the afternoon and get freaking hammered, okay.
From Jersey?
Yeah, I mean, we go there for the weekend. I go, I would take my vacation or whatever. Me and my brother and two other couples. We would go there, and we go back to the hotel like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon after spending a couple hours there, right? And go back in, and that where the little bar was, they would have high tea. So you see all these old people sitting around and they're having their little finger sandwiches and stuff like that. My brother was he's gone now, but he was completely nuts. All right. So they had behind the bar in the case, they had the King Louis. So he tells the bartender, 5 shots, King Louis. So King Louis at the time was like $400 a whack. All right. So all of a sudden we're laughing and carrying on. We're shooting down this King Louis. And one of the old ladies tells the manager, we're having high tea and it's very, very loud in there. They're being very loud. He turned around and told the old lady, he says, they're spending tons of money and they can do whatever they want.
As it should be.
Yeah. The Dunes. Was it the Dunes? I think it might have been the Dunes, I think.
That was farther up, but yeah.
Hold on.
The boardwalk, farther up.
Hey, Marie. No.
Ocean City? Beggars Island.
Yeah, we went there, but the hotel we stayed up by Coins.
Prager's the way up.
Dunes?
The Dunes.
Yeah, it was the Dunes.
That's high up towards the north end of Ocean City. Because Frager's is way up there.
Yeah. And we used to go into there too to get prime rib. There's a couple places over there. It was really good. So you're going for how long to Italy?
About right around 6 weeks. And the only reason I'm coming back.
How you doing?
Is my 50th high school reunion is on October 12th. Okay. And I'm kind of spearheading that. And I've been telling people, hey, this is the last reunion most of us are ever going to go to. So we're
without diapers.
Well, there's a lot of us that live out of town. So I think this is because it's 50, but so we're working around that. So I'm going to come back 2 days before that, I was in DC. So we worked backwards, and my wife didn't want to go when it was so hot, because in August it's pretty damn hot there. So we're going to September until the middle of October, and then be back for my reunion, and then who knows.
Yeah, we this is as far as we're going to go. I mean, we might do some day trips and stuff like that this year. There's quite a few ghost towns and stuff like that. I'm going to go check out, and probably go up to Reno. I'm going to show Marie Reno, and yeah, I mean, quite. I keep forgetting about this button here to show everybody else that's in here, but yeah, that's what we're going to do this year, and there everything depends on my leg. I mean,
it's no fun to travel if you can't go anywhere.
I mean, yeah. So my deal with the band has took a turn. My replacement came in, and great guy, played, but he sings. Okay, so we talked, and we said, maybe I'll go back towards around this time, maybe like next week or something like that. And I was talking to Maria. I said, you know what? I'm gonna pull the pin on that one for a little bit, because yeah, because do your that's a little thing they got going on their channel. They're doing a job. So I sort of told him, what, keep it the way you're going with it. You're gonna keep this guy on, and we have to negotiate more money and stuff like that. But I do have another group that was playing with, the second group that we were in rehearsal with. So
I didn't even think about it until you just said it, but because you've got the different channels, and Marie and the seniors and the keto and this, I forgot about the music, and it just kind of disappeared. And now that you're saying that, okay, now I understand. Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to. I talked to the guy the other night. They were sort of like not put off, but they were sort of like, well, we're trying to move ahead here the whole bit. And I developed a great relationship with the owner and the manager of this past casino.
Mm-hmm.
So he had offered me the room in the back. It's the venue. Holds like 230 people. For me, if I wanted to put on any kind of show or something like that, or book something in there, whatever. So I'm kind of toying with that a little bit. Mine thinks faster than my body can move. Right. So, and there again, and why can't I do it? I got to do it. That kind of crap. But this is my main focus. With all the channels, is to cook. We got to eat. So why not film it and try to, get some stuff around.
Yeah. I think I'm one of the things I'm doing, and I've decided, is I'm cutting back to one video a week.
Yeah.
I'm just got too much other stuff going on. And then it won't feel as bad when I'm gone for, 6 weeks in the fall, and traveling around over the next month or so around. But so my wife's retiring, so she has all these trips that are kind of business related that I used to go on some, but I've decided this year I'm going on all of them, because this gravy train is leaving the station, is not coming back. So I'm gonna take advantage of it.
George, to answer your question, there's not that many places out here that have a seafood boil. Matter of fact, I got to tell you this. Matter of fact, there haven't been too many places that went back into buffets anymore. But as far as a traditional seafood boil, I don't know of too many out this way, and it's kind of strange also.
So the casinos have gone away from the buffets.
Yeah, not only certain ones have the buffets and stuff like that, and now, it's there's some. Rio's getting ready to reopen again under new management, and they're getting ready to start something. There is a couple places that still have the buffets and stuff, but I know South Point's close to my house, They have it. That as a matter of fact, through the pandemic, they didn't really close. You had to be suited up and everything else like that to get it done. But
Right. Huh. I never thought of it, but makes sense.
yeah, I don't know. So anyway, Charlie, we've been up an hour.
Been fun as usual.
Yep.
For those of you just coming on, I didn't really explain the difference, but I've been putting up a podcast of my show, not Cooking Secrets for Men, which is the channel. The way I explain this is Cooking Secrets for Men is like ABC. Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders is like Grey's Anatomy. It's the show on the network. So if you Googled Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders, you'd be able to find my podcast somewhere. It's on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Google, blah, 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 all the podcast places. And that's where I'm kind of focusing in to trying to move that. If I could figure a way to do it live, I'd do it. But
now, what you're doing is just you're using your audio, right?
right,
And
just
no
stripping
video.
out the video, keeping the audio, and then I'm cutting the audio so there's not a lot of dead space in there.
Okay.
So I edit it so that when you're
Because I'm seeing a lot of people right now doing, they're calling them podcasts, but they're doing also with the video with it.
right.
And who knows? Maybe somewhere down the line, I might delve into that right now. At this point right now, I'm concentrating on getting this channel up and rolling. I'm trying to not do the same stuff. I'm trying to reach out to get different ideas and stuff like that. Once a week on a Sunday to put it up. And then with the other channel, I did the same thing once a week because I was doing Wednesdays and Sundays and with the lives and stuff like that. And
Right.
This live here was just to sit back and chat with you. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah.
And,
Always fun.
yeah. But, and then the seniors food and life, that was sort of kept in a corner. That was more or less my, go into somebody's chat or whatever like that and just see what was going on, whatever. You know what I mean? And then I said to Marie, I did something. Marie come walking in and boom, the views went up. I said, okay, there you go. You're cooking there, Miss Italian girl. And it turned out to be a lot of fun.
She does, and I've told her this. I love the way that it's put together. The simplicity and the realism of somebody, an Italian, just sitting there cooking in a kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any better. I mean, just in the way she comes over, I can't. There's no way I'm going to edit that out. Okay, she go like this. Hello, over here. And what the frig are you doing? Mammy Yokum, for crying out loud. I can't. But it's funny as hell. It really is funny as hell. Anyway. All right, people.
Yes.
We're gonna
Nothing but love. Yes, Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders is the podcast. It's the interview show I do with community leaders where we talk, we cook something, and then we eat it.
Yeah, I gotta elaborate a little bit on that right there. The whole idea of what Charlie was doing, okay, is bringing these. The best one, I think. Well, let me say, how can I rephrase this? One of the best ones I've seen was with the Milwaukee Bucks president,
Peter Fagan.
I mean, I said, what the hell does Charlie got going on here? Okay. And to see, you could see the guy was, listen that, bop, 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 and then all of a sudden he came down about 15 pegs. This is how I cook this. This my family likes. And and it just rolled from there. That was I'm saying, boy, Charlie nailed it right there. He nailed it. Got this guy that, has really no time in his life other than, with the Milwaukee Bucks, really. You know what I mean? And there he is sitting with Charlie. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. And then when you got cooking, no, do this, try this, no, do that. And I also love Oliver's right there.
Olive is omnipresent.
I love it. NBL needs a wrench. Yes, he does. You know what? I haven't been doing this too much. So, let me see what I can do here. You know what? Next time I go up, we'll do it. everybody gets a wrench on there because then you can go back and forth with it. But yeah, I mean, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys, we're going to jump off. Charlie, stick around for a minute.
All right.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming in. We'll see you next time.
See y'all.